Hello everybody, my name is Monica Mai and I am a soul healer. I'm a conflict transformation expert, and today's video is about the fact that there is always an important reason behind narcissism. So my story starts with my father. He was born in 1933 in Poland, and when the Second World War started he was only 6 years old, so a little child. And he exhibited highly narcissistic behavior through most of his life, because in his early 80s he really changed beautifully, unexpectedly too. So he exhibited this narcissistic behavior, and I always wondered what were the causes for this. And as I became a healer and I worked on my own issues from childhood and started helping people with their childhood painful emotional experiences and clearing all these, this question was really more and more important to me. What were the causes for my father's highly narcissistic behavior? And when my father was very sick, this last February 2021, I realized I wanted to do a healing session on my father, distant healing session on my father, and I realized I couldn't do it. So I decided to ask a friend healer to have a healing session on this issue of me not being able to do a healing session on my father. And during this wonderful healing session, I received a message from my father's soul saying, I chose narcissism to be able to experience, to be able to express all my anger and still accept and like myself. And this message came as a revelation for me. Absolutely, it woke me up. It just started me thinking about, okay, so what has really happened there? And when my father passed away, a week after my father passed away, on the 8th of March 2021, I had a communication session with my father from the spirit world. And during this communication session, I asked my father, so what were your experiences from the time of war? You were only 6 years old. And the response was, I am not ready to mention that. I am not ready to look at that. I am not ready to open this Pandora box. So again, this message really shook me again, made me realize, my goodness, these experiences must have been absolutely horrible, extremely traumatic. And to give you more information, when after my father passed away, we were preparing for funeral. And my sister found out that two of my father's brothers that we never knew about died during the Second World War. And nobody knew about this. This was a buried memory. This was a buried hurt. This was a trauma that was never ever talked about, never mentioned. I am 47 years old. All this time he had the possibility to talk about it, and he did not talk about it. My father did not talk about it. Nobody talked about it. How painful, how traumatic it must have been to that child of 6 years old, my father, or maybe 7, 8, maybe 9. I don't know when those two brothers exactly died. How horrible it must have been to go through this emotional trauma. So this message came a day after my communication with my father from the spirit world. So of course he was extremely angry. He had this anger spilling out constantly. He was extremely angry most of his life. And I guess I know, I can guess why. As other people choose alcohol, drugs, abuse of others, damaging action to protect themselves, this protective mechanism narcissism for my father was a survival tool, was a tool for survival. Of course, it's not beneficial to the surrounding, to the family, to anyone who comes across a person like that and experiences any action from that perspective. Is not good, of course, yet they can learn from that. But what I mean, for a person who has so much anger inside because of traumatic experiences of this scope, this is a survival mechanism. So next time you realize that you're dealing with a narcissist, you have a narcissist in your family, please keep it in your mind and in your hearts that there is always reasons behind narcissism. Okay, I'm sending you blessings and thank you for watching these, and I hope it helps you in some way. Lots of love, and I'll be back soon. Bye.